Let's talk about the March for Australia event on October 19th and some of the spicier things that happened. My name is Scott Challen, aka Shallow Chal, and I'm one of the organisers for the March for Australia Brisbane event that happened on October 19th. I was also one of the organisers for August 31. And the reason I'm making this video today is to give you guys a bit of an update on what happens next. Obviously, we've had two really fantastic events so far. Thousands of Australians have turned out, and don't believe the lies about only a few hundred people turned up or that there was less people at the second event. The reality was, if you have a close look at the video, there was a shit ton of people at both events. And although not everyone hung around for the speeches at the end, listening to politicians can be boring. I do understand that. The march itself was amazingly big. In fact, on the second march on the 19th, just the other day, we pretty much had the full length of Grey Street in South Bank in Brisbane here, full to the brim with patriots. Just check this video out. Fantastic to see so many good people, old people, young people, women and children, and just everyday Australians just getting out there and saying, enough is enough. We need to shut the gates, take our country back and stop this bullshit mass migration Ponzi scheme that's happening here, that's propping up the uniparty, but actually destroying the rest of the country for all of us and not giving your children any future. March for Australia has been a fantastic experience. I've really enjoyed it. Of course, these things are not without their controversy. You can't make an omelette without cracking some eggs. And there's always going to be someone that gets pissed off about something. And so we saw media get pissed off. We saw politicians get pissed off. We've seen different friction points between conflicting interests around the organisation itself. There's always all sorts of stuff going on and things that you guys don't get to see behind the scenes. And certainly, as a businessman, when it comes to running stuff, I know that it's never a perfect world, that we always try to make the planets align. It's never perfect, but we deal with what we've got. Life is defined by difficult conversations, and if you can overcome those difficulties, you can pretty much make anything happen. Proving, as we did again in Brisbane, that you can create a great event despite all the challenges and roadblocks that can be put in front of you. We had some really good people there, like Sam Bamford. Sam came along to the Brisbane March, and it was so good to see him there. He's such a good guy, a great Australian patriot. Really glad to call him a friend of mine. And we've been supported along the way on this journey by some great podcasters, some great interviews. And we've had some really controversial ones as well, like the ABC that decided not to play my interview. That's this one here. I went into the studio, recorded it. Unfortunately, they decided not to play it because they felt that Steve Austin hadn't asked hard enough questions. I don't know, I thought the questions were pretty fair and balanced, and if anyone hasn't watched it, you can jump into my videos, you'll see it there. It was about a 25-minute conversation, and I thought Steve did a really good job of asking me questions and myself answering them, but ABC management felt that he could have been a little tougher. March for Australia was an amazing success. We had a really good time. This is one of the highlights for me, was the absolute rapture that I felt just when I was looking over the crowd and just checking out how it was playing out and how it was going, and to see so many smiling faces at me. We recorded a very special video message for President Donald Trump using our crowd up here in Brisbane to play in front of Albanese. Unfortunately, it didn't quite get there. Gosh, it would have been a long shot, let's face it. It was probably a 0.001% chance. But that video, it got over 2 million views in 48 hours, like just an incredible effort. And everyone was ragging in the comments going, oh, Trump didn't listen to your bullshit video. I tell you what, he might not have, but 2 million other people did. And I haven't seen you make anything that gets that kind of traction. And I want to thank everyone that tuned in and watched that and shared it. And it was just an incredible response to see. I mean, tens of thousands of likes, tens of thousands of shares, and just, little old me. Humble carpenter, builder, just doing my thing, and find myself suddenly in the middle of a cultural revolution that I didn't really expect to be a part of. But sometimes God's plan for us is a little bigger than we might have expected. I hope you've enjoyed this. This is a bit of an update for what's going on. We've got a huge event coming up in January for Australia Day. It's going to be massive. I can't even begin to describe to you how big this thing is going to be. But let me put it this way. We're aiming for Guinness World Record level things, and I can't wait to share it with you because we've been working on this one for a while. Despite the other two events, we're aiming for Australia Day. That's going to be the big one. That's the one. That's the big one. And we need you guys to be a part of that. We can't wait to see you there. All right, my fellow Aussie patriots, God knows I love you. Stay safe, stay strong. Believe in Australia. We will win this war. God bless.